Welcome back to 843 TV. We now have the pleasure to be joined by Mr. Troy Shaver. How are you today, Troy?
I'm great, thank you.
Thank you for being here. So we were talking before we started shooting, and you've been here just about as long as anybody else. How did you first find out about Spring Island back in the 90s when you did?
I had a business colleague that moved to Kiowa, and it was a second home for him, and I was visiting him, and I said, boy, this is a beautiful place, this whole South Carolina coast. And he said, well, I have a place that you won't believe, just south of here. And he said, why don't we drive down? And we did. And we got here late at night. He said, you got to see this golf course. We walked out on the 17th green. There was not even a golf house at that time. Full moon on the marsh. The 17th is our signature hole. And it was the most spectacular thing I'd ever seen.
So you were sold right there.
I was sold just like that. So.
That's a great story.
How long had you been retired before you moved here?
Well, actually, I've never been retired. The longest I've retired, when I moved here permanently, I was retired. My wife gave me a retirement party on a Friday night. I started looking for office space on Monday. So I've been here fully since 2003. I commuted during 2003 from Boston to here. My wife was down here permanently. And then in 2004 started the company, and I've been here permanently ever since.
So you work, and you're not retired, so you work here. A lot of people who live here are retired, but there are people as well who work full time.
Right, there's a few people that work full time. I think this is an ideal place to live and work. We don't work here on the island, but it's an ideal place, this whole environment. You can be outside every day of the year. You don't have to worry about putting an overcoat on or boots or anything of that nature. You can be active every single day of the year, and it makes a big difference in your work life as well. It's a great mental relief to be able to do anything you want to do.
That makes sense.
I know you were very successful in the Northeast in the financial industry. Is that the type of business that you have here?
Yes, I'm a money management firm. The colleague who introduced me here, he and I started it. He retired last year, and we will this summer have 25 people. And so we've become a fairly large money management firm, but it tells you something about Spring Island. When we started the firm, it was very difficult to find people. Today, we're interviewing for an analyst. In a space of under 3 weeks, we had 180 people that applied for the job.
Wow.
Really?
From all over the world.
Wow.
All over the world.
The word's out and everybody wants to come.
So that was a terrific thing. So.
Yeah. And so I know that you've been real active in the trust. Maryland's active in the Habitat Review Board. I mean, what attracted y'all here? And I mean, how do y'all stay so involved with your work and everything else?
Well, I grew up in the South, and when I grew up, it was it was not as populated as today. I grew up in Florida, pre-Disney, and so it was a great place to grow up. I had a great childhood. I learned to do a lot of outdoor things, including quail hunting, which we do here. And I introduced my wife to it. She's a New Englander, like Peter, and she fell in love with it. And so we love the fact that we have 2 nature preserves here. She takes our dogs for walks every day. We have 40 miles of trails. It's just a fantastic place. And so I was surprised at how fast that she fell in love with it, being a New Englander. And she actually liked the hot, humid summers. So.
Well, speaking of quail hunting, you're an avid bird hunter. Tell everybody a little bit about the hunting program and the groups that hunt out here.
Okay, we have a hunting club. Originally, we did our quail hunting here on the island, and raised our own quail. We had our own horses, our own mules, our own dogs. And in '96, as we started building homes, we thought it would be a good idea to not take the risk of having somebody shot. So we moved the hunting off and leased a plantation, And we've since joined a new plantation about 20 miles from here called Red Bluff Plantation. It's right on the May River. It's just gorgeous. Thousands and thousands of acres. We moved our mules out there. We have 2 horses out there. So we have over 100 people here on the island that regularly hunt there. It's an authentic southern hunt with dogs on your mule wagon. You can ride a horse. That's how we discovered our lot, by the way, on horseback.
Did you really?
So it was a very common thing to do because there's not many roads at that point
Yeah.
in time. So
What
it's a
about the
wonderful
sporting
thing.
clays? You do that as well?
We did. The sporting clays, when we first opened the sporting clays course, we brought in an instructor who had won a silver medal in the Olympics in one of the rifle sports. And we went through it for a week, and we had about 8 or 10 of us that went through the instruction. I brought my youngest son, who now lives in Savannah, and he just fell in love with it. We go back to Boston, where we were living at the time, and we go to an Orvis sporting clays shooting event, and my youngest son wins it out of over.
He's a natural.
He was a natural over 100. That was just because of this course and the sporting clays here. So we have instruction here. We have wonderful sporting clays course. You can also shoot skeet if you wish. So it's a lot to do if you like gunnery.
Yeah. Well, thank you for visiting with us and sharing your experience here. You got a lot of history here, and thank you for taking the time to tell us about it.
My pleasure. It was really a lot of fun.
And stay with us. We'll be back with more 843 TV.